Greetings, everyone. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful day today. I wanted to send out a note of encouragement about knowing how to act. I know as a Christian, I am often criticized at times by people who look at me and see some of the things that I do and say, that's not how a Christian should act, or that's not Christian like, or you're not a Christian because of something that they may perceive to be what is Christian character versus what the reality of what God calls us to be as Christians. And I struggle with that because it is an education that we have to, as Christians, show people by who we are and how we live versus the perceptions or the pictures of Christianity that people tend to paint. But I'm encouraged today through Colossians chapter 3, verses 12 through 14, where God really lays out what the characteristics are that we should exemplify before people to show them our relationship with Christ and to show them the level of our salvation, because no one can see your relationship with God because it's a personal relationship, which you identify your salvation through that relationship with Him. But how we show them that relationship is by how we live and how we conduct ourselves. And I think God has given us the blueprint for how we can do that so that we demonstrate a positive reflection of Him when we are doing these things. In chapter 3 of Colossians, verses 12 through 14 read, "Therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved, put on tender mercies, kindness, humility, meekness, long-suffering, bearing with one another and forgiving one another. If anyone has a complaint against another, even as Christ forgave you, so you also must do. But above all these things, put on love, which is the bond of perfection." That, in my Christian experience, is so encouraging simply because it gives us the opportunity to know how to act and know what to do and know the characteristics that we need to exemplify before people so that then they understand that that is my connection to Christ. But then the most encouraging part is when we fail and when we don't do all of those things, when we need that glue or that adhesive or that connection to those things, God tells us to put on love, which is the bond of perfection. Love is what allows us to really look at people the way that God looks at them, to treat people the way that God treats them, because He treats us a certain way. And if He treats us that way, we should also do those things towards other people. And that's what allows us to not respond to people the way that we want to when they've done wrong against us, because we think about what we've done wrong against God and how He has forgiven us and how He loves us in spite of us. And we should extend that same type of love equally towards the people that God has placed in our lives that may not understand our relationship with Him. And that's the only way that we can educate them, by demonstrating those characteristics. Do we get it right all the time? No, we don't. Do we always walk in the way that we should? No, we don't. But there's no excuse, because we now know what those characteristics are, and we should at least pause and pray and try to produce those results when life challenges us or when people challenge us in our Christianity and in our Christian walk. Do these things so that God can be reflected in our actions, in our conversations, and in our conduct, and in our character before people, so that then people will see who you serve by how you live and want to serve Him the same. Be encouraged, have a blessed day, and love you, and talk to you soon.